with both of my co-hosts, Stephanie and Tina, here today. We have done a full week of talking about all things spirituality, religion, and indoctrination, from the light to the shadow, everything in between, to the growth that unfolds when we allow ourselves to sit in it all. So, for Nicole's little energy forecast, I just want to share that a lot of reflection has been coming up in um, becoming a little softer with how we want to share information. For me, this is what's come up for me. A lot of kind of slowing down and allowing, I think, new systems that are kind of starting to take shape, and where we have to be willing to change and pivot. For me personally, that's been my experience. So with that being said, I just want to let our audience know before we break into this time today that we will be going down to Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for the foreseeable future, still with airing out our episode at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for you guys. The conversation may be an hour long, it may be 45 minutes. We're going to focus on the information being real, authentic, and naturally unfolding, for we don't want to force time to just fill time. And with that being said, I just want to open the floor today with Stephanie's purposeful pause moment. Or was that too soon? Okay, is that what we were doing? Yeah, we kind of talked about that, but didn't solidify that until we're live now.
I
Or we
guess.
could just share reflections for the week and wait on the purposeful pause minute.
Oh, Nicole. No, I could go ahead and do it. It is kind of a little personal and maybe off topic of some of what we talked about this week, but I've been showing up every day this week while also dealing with. I don't not want to cry. My grandmother is not going to be with us soon, so. Um, but one thing that I have learned with um, my spiritual journey is that she's always going to be with me. It's just going to be in a different way. And so right now, I've just been spending every day with her as much as I can, trying to, just let her know that I'm there for her and with her, and just helping her be comfortable and um, goofing around with her when she's in those moments that we can do that, and just reminiscing with everybody, talking about the memories and the things, all the crazy things that she did as we were growing up. So just, helping each other get through this time and helping her through it, and, just reflecting and grounding myself when I can, um, to just help me get through this and the rest of my family. So I've appreciated this time during the week to kind of step away and have some normalcy, but she's always in the back of my mind, and always eager to get back to her. So, but I appreciate you guys letting me have this moment because I know how supportive you guys are, and I really appreciate it.
Well, it's raw. It's something you're going through. It's an experience that's happening right now. You're being very thoughtful about being vulnerable in a space in which other people could connect to you, but it's not an easy time. It's not an easy time for you right now, and so we appreciate you. But you also said, being able to take some time away. It's key. As hard as it sounds, I I could reflect back to when my mother was in hospice. I slept at the hospital for 2 weeks straight 'cause I didn't want to leave her, and people were like, "No, no, you need some time too." So, if this space is giving you that time, we're here
Mm-hmm.
for you. But just know that this journey you're not alone. And I don't know grandma, but grandma has now become part of my prayers.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And I think it's beautiful when we're talking about
All
this
right,
past
Nicole, now
week.
that you've made that happen,
What? I mean, what happened? Vulnerability? What do you mean?
say that. Can you say that again? You were really soft.
Me? Are you talking to me?
I'm having a hard time hearing you. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I don't know. You're a little blurred on your screen, but can you hear me now?
There you are. Now I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay. Just wanted to reflect back with this week and with what you were just sharing. Um, when we're talking about spirituality, we're talking about religion, or we're talking about all of the above, what it all has in common is, the bringing of together, the community. And I love that when you were sharing, though this has been heavy on your heart, that you're talking about beautiful memories and experiences. You're finding the joy in what can be quite painful of an experience that you and your family are having. And at the same time, your family is gathering together. So it's so beautiful to see at the same as well where your spirituality and your religion really does shine through you at this time, and understanding that yes, she is energy, and that she is going to be within you on your next stages of your journey, which has been beautiful with you opening up into more spirituality and your inner compass and navigating what that's looking like for you. And I think it's going to be real beautiful to see how she unfolds for you in that new way down the line when that time does come. So I just wanted to take a moment and honor that, and I appreciate that because it can be difficult. The fact that you're also bringing yourself into this platform and finding some peace there is really beautiful at the same time, because that's what we need each other when we're in difficult times, to just non-judgment, safe space, honest conversation. And today we're just going to allow it to lead how it authentically does, and until the conversation's done, however that looks. um, so yeah, T, I kind of am curious to give Stephanie kind of a moment. um, any reflections that you might have come to this week with the conversations that we've had, or just the energies and experiences that you've been seeing unfold with maybe some of your clients in comparison to what we've been talking about?
Um, I would say there's definitely been a lot of connections. I don't know if I made them in the moment, and probably gonna force myself to think about them now. But um, going back to spirituality versus religion, and allowing people to maintain their beliefs, but opening their hearts to what else might be part of them that they haven't been able to explore yet because of the way we've been brought up or what we were taught. Um, I think I had a moment this week when we were going up to the cemeteries and I had to pick up the flowers and stuff, and I was getting these potted plants because the cemetery's just gonna throw them out anyway. And in the back of my head, I heard my mother go, "You better not be bringing me the same friggin' thing you're bringing everybody else." And I was like, "Yeah, I was, but I'm gonna change my mind now." Um, so I went and got a special arrangement made and brought her that. And my aunt said to me, "Oh, was she not good enough for the pansies?" And I'm like, "No, apparently not, because I got that I got that call like, don't you dare put the same thing on your grandmother's grave and your aunt's grave that wasn't even a mother, like the same one, like treat me like your mother." So I did. And I think in that moment I was realizing would I be having these same connections or picking up on the same vibes if I didn't open my heart to much more than just the religious side of my life. So
Absolutely.
I think that was probably the deepest connection this week. Um, but yeah, I don't know that I would have felt that normally. She would have just gotten
Beautiful.
the same thing as everybody else.
Right. And then all of a sudden you would have put it on her site and it would have blown up, broke, blew away. Something would have happened, and that would have been another way of like being like, no, this isn't what I want. I love that you
Yeah,
listen to that
I'm
because
just
they're
like
always talking.
they absolutely, and that's what I'm saying is like I don't think you're open or receptive to all of that. And then I don't know if I got to share that I had cardinals fighting in my yard this week. I don't know if it was a coincidence because of the cemetery or there's just something wrong with the cardinals in my yard. But there were three male cardinals just kind of lingering around on the fence or in a bush or whatever. And then I got this bitchy female one in the tree right next to my computer, scaring them all away, pushing them out. Like she literally would fly up and like nudge them out. And I was like, what is going on? Even the birds can't get along these days. And I tried so hard to catch it on video because I was laughing so hard. But it's probably my mother. She was too quick. She wouldn't let me catch her in the act.
I was going to ask who's fighting for your attention when you think of the cardinal that was trying to become queen bee. Who did you refer to? And then it just came right out your mouth. And I was like, yep, that makes sense. But that's what's
Oh yeah,
beautiful about
yeah. She
seeing things
doesn't.
from
Yeah,
a
the
larger
intentions.
lens.
Right, right.
Sorry, you have a
And
delay on
it's
your end.
it's just the way. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It's
Um,
just a little blurry on
I
there.
don't. Uh, um, yeah, I don't know that I would have been as receptive even when our cousin passed at his services at the grave. It, there was this black crow in the tree above us, shaking the tree. And I was laughing my ass off, and I'm like, okay, don't laugh. Like, we're at a funeral. Don't. This is like not like a funny time, but I'm laughing because I'm associating this bird with my cousin, who's like, you put me in a fucking Catholic cemetery, like, and now you've got holy water being thrown on my casket. It was like at that time, the same exact time they were doing the holy water, this bird just started making the tree like rumble. It was hysterical, and I was just like, oh boy, somebody's here and he's not happy.
And I bet that happens more times than not if we can take the moment to
Mm-hmm.
look at it as more of, instead of a coincidence, a synchronicity, like something that was just beautifully aligned in that moment for your eyes to experience. You know, because that's what I think of with
It's
synchronicities.
and it's it does happen a lot. It happens a lot, and it happened one year outside. I was having a few girlfriends over. We were like just hanging by the pool, and there was this butterfly that just kept coming in, just kept coming in. It kept like around my face. I'm like swatting it, and I was like, oh, I probably should be gentle. That's probably some family member of mine, and I'm just like, get away. But it it was not a coincidence that that butterfly was aggravating the shit out of me because 2 minutes later, I got a call that my mother's cousin passed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I wonder if this was my mother coming in to say hi to me, but to also come and get her cousin.
Absolutely. You know, when you're sharing that too, Stephanie, you've shared, I think, what was it, just yesterday about a synchronicity or a moment that you also had too, no?
With butterflies?
No, with spirit. With a connection of a loved one
Oh,
that crossed over.
yeah. So My best friend Vicky passed away a little over a year ago, and I have some of her rings. And I took them off when I went to bed the other night, and when I put them on yesterday morning, I always have this one on this finger, and I always have the other one on my thumb, but for some reason, and it's still there, I put it on my ring finger. And I don't know why I did that because my rings were already on. So it's not like I just grabbed them and put them all on. For some reason, it went on my ring finger. And I have no idea why. And it's still there.
And then I want to refer this part because I thought this was funny because this was a synchronicity that I noticed off of what she was sharing, where she goes, "You get any vibes or anything?" I don't know verbatim. Sorry if the wording's off. From Vicky today, messages or anything like that, and I go, "Is it okay if I share this part?"
Yeah.
Okay. Um, just in regard to her towards the person she was what's held. And I just thought it was interesting because prior to her telling me anything about the ring or anything. So then when she goes to talk about the ring, I go, how interesting. That's the only insight that I got was about the husband.
Right.
And today is the day that you decided to move her ring to the ring finger. So for me, I was like, maybe there's a correlation there to that of her trying to signal something to you in relation to her husband.
Right.
The ring finger concept.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I-
Well, it's so fun.
Not
It's
even
so
knowing
fun.
the husband situation, what my mind kind of, yeah, my mind went to, why are you wearing me on your thumb when the relationships are signified on this finger? And because you were so close, it was almost like you were tying that into, had more significance.
Mhm. The beyond the surface, the 3D world of a connection that you guys have
Yeah.
on the soul plane.
Yep. I think we lost her.
To her.
We lost
This
you.
connection is not,
I
the
know.
connection hasn't been great.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're not missing what you're sharing because we started getting something, then we lost you. I know. Well, everybody, we got a little bit of a frozen situation right now. We're just over here recapping on the week, sharing about personalized synchronicities. With Pluto in retrograde right now, there's a lot of internal belief systems that are shifting. Whether you're familiar with astrology or not, we'll just say if you're feeling kind of changes internally, systems and beliefs that you might notice now may be limiting where you want to move forward, that's just kind of the questions that are coming up for the collective at this time to see what am I continuing on that is something that is conscious and is of me and my belief, and what is happening that is unconscious, maybe a belief that I picked up from an early age that may no longer be aligning where I want to go moving forward. Oh, I think we got Tina back. Yes, it looks like Tina is
Oh,
back
I
as
haven't
well
been
and
here.
back in the conversation. Are you
Huh.
there?
I was here. I didn't.
Nicole, are you guys okay if I jump off?
Absolutely.
I have
I
a
didn't.
ride here to take me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sending love and light for all of your family
Of
members.
course not.
We are right
Thank
here.
you.
Of course not. Yeah, let us know how we can help.
I will.
Yep.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Talk to you soon.
Yep.
Bye.
No, they're not talking to you. Now the dogs want to try to go on. Now the bells want to go off. So 3 days a week. Gonna be ideal. So do we want to do an overview of what we're going to be doing next week, or what are your thoughts, T?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing because I think some of the topics next week may be not foreign but not so familiar for some people. So maybe we can kind of just go over a quick high overview of what we're looking at and who's joining us, and get them a little more engaged for what's to come.
Yes, yes. I want to try to pull up the visual on here real quick. Yeah, so next week we're going to be having quite a week. We're going to start the week off talking about intuition versus anxiety and identifying the difference um, between the two. So here, can I enlarge it bigger? So are you able to see that?
Intuition versus anxiety. Whew.
Yeah, right? It's going to be such a
I got
conversation.
anxiety thinking about it.
Yeah, so pretty much we're going to just do an overview of what next week will be because Monday, yeah, we're going to talk about intuition versus anxiety, but we're also going to bring back Sophia, the female archetype that was introduced to us by a dear friend of ours, Heather, who will be actually joining us on Wednesday to open our world up to a female archetype, Sedna, which will coincide with our topic being why don't you trust yourself? So I'm kind of interested to see how this week unfolds because then we'll close out Friday with rebuilding self trust and introducing Inanna as a female archetype that we actually just came across because we thought it would be really beautiful to integrate female archetypes into our conversations as a way of just being able to dive deeper into your own individual unique journey. Bringing Tina's coaching perspectives into the conversation next week will be great in giving and identifying um, the challenges that say we could be having within ourselves at this time. I can't see you, Tina, because I'm sharing the screen. There. So T, when we're talking about Monday, what are you kind of when we talked about Sophia? What were your thoughts or looking forward to in that conversation?
So I was just writing down intuition versus anxiety so I can get more comfortable with thinking about it from a couple different lenses. Um, I think when we brought Sophia, now that had to be at least what, 2, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
There was a huge connection to Sophia. There were a lot of females who just realized, oh my God, that's me. I connect with her, right? Things were coming up in the chat that were like, oh, I want to learn more about her. So we kind of collaborated and said, how do we start to introduce more archetypes into the space? And I think because it resonated so much with so many people, made me wonder how many people speak so truly giddy. And now that I'm
And we lost her, so she'll be back in a second. Today might not just get posted. We might just be shooting the shit here and having it live for whoever ends up catching it because we were having some technical problems today. And I'm just in an energetic space where I'm just allowing things to unfold naturally as they are meant and intended to without stressing about it because stressing about it isn't going to make it any better. So if we end up closing it today and I'm unable to get Tina back in this space, then I just thank you guys for joining us this week. I hope that throughout all of the changes that are happening within your world or externally, that you're allowing yourself grace and space so that way you can allow whatever messages or opportunities are trying to show up to help you in your healing journey. This space is solely created to just share honest, authentic conversations that help empower you to trusting your inner voice, your inner compass, while also trying to share with you tools that can help you in integrating um, to use to integrate on your own individual journey. Oh, we do have Tina back. Okay, all right. Um, Still coming in a little sketchy, but she came back. I was about to close out the thing because I didn't know if you were gonna come back. Because it's coming like a pause that's kind of coming up on it. Is it clear? How does it come up?
All right, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
So I just got kicked out because Riverside said something about their server.
Oh, that's weird. It said that you were on multiple, is what it said on my end for the
Yeah,
Riverside.
yeah, no, well, came up and said that it was having issues with their server, and then it kicked me out.
Okay. Well, today might be. I told the audience already. I said I'm not going to get stressed out. I said we're having some technical issues. We might not even roll this out or just let it go live onto the social media and not to Podbeam. But just telling everybody to give yourself grace as everything's unfolding this week. That we're all going through some shifts of beliefs and internal dynamics, and like Tina says, allowing yourself grace as it unfolds, and how we're just trying to create a space for people to be able to come, hopefully get some clarity, um, some understanding, and maybe some tools that can help them on their unique spiritual journey. And then that's when you kind of came back in. So if there's anything in reflection that you would like to, in case we have another technical issue that you might want to close with, we'll kind of just for today let it
Yeah,
flow.
sure. We could do a quick reflection on the week, but the one thing I wanted to make sure I said about these archetypes is the suppression of emotions is what really triggered my mindset when we started talking about anxiety and versus intuition, because in a normal space I don't think I'd make the connection. Your intuition's telling you to do something, your anxiety's telling you not to, but it's fear based. So yeah, so that's kind of where my head was going. But um anywho, so I do have a little bit of a longer reflection because I think the week did cover quite a bit of different things. So I'll just start here. Spirituality doesn't take anything away from your religious beliefs. It simply gives you permission to have a relationship with yourself inside of them. Religion offers structure, tradition, community, and a lineage of meaning. Spirituality offers inner listening, personal interpretation, and the freedom to explore what resonates in your lived experience. They are not opposites. They are two different ways of reaching toward the same longing for connection, purpose, and understanding. But here's where it gets tender and a bit honest. Many of us were raised inside beliefs we never got to question. We inherited rules before we had language. We absorbed expectations before we had autonomy. And that's what indoctrination looks like, being taught what to believe before you've been taught how to think about it for yourself. No, and none of that makes it wrong, makes you wrong. It just makes you human, right? It's just we go back to what we grow up in an environment that kind of creates us and it evolves us. Spirituality doesn't ask to abandon your faith. It asks you to meet it consciously, to separate what was handed to you from what is true. You can honor your religion and still explore your intuition. You can love your tradition and still unlearn the fear based narratives that never belong to you. You can stay rooted in your faith while expanding into a deeper relationship with your own inner wisdom. This is not rebellion. This is I can't even talk. This is reclaiming yourself. So I'm curious, where have you felt the tension between needs today. Do we get
Can you re-ask that question?
the question?
Yep, you're about to ask a reflection question and you froze out.
Where have you felt the tension between what you are taught and what you're beginning to sense for yourself? Your reflection might be the permission someone else needs today. And I'm wondering if that's kind of like with Stephanie, allowing her the space to kind of feel what she needed to feel. I think there were things she wanted to say but didn't want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I think people try to honor the wishes of family members who are sick and who are dying, but they don't. She seems to be asking her grandmother what it is she wants and what she needs. But how do you follow up on that? What she's asking for? I just want to die. I just want to be in peace. And Stephanie needs some time to digest what that looks like for her grandmother and for her family.
Yeah, it's a very heavy space, and I'm glad that she opened up today and shared that with our listeners, because vulnerability is not easy to have, and let alone in front of people and by yourself. So I'm glad that she opened that space up to us while she, in real time, is unfolding what this experience is even looking like for her, which I'm really appreciative of. And yeah, just allowing that time. So for next week, we're gonna do the 3 days. We wanted to see how this week unfolded, and it was a lot. I'll be completely transparent. And I want to be able to, we as a whole, we want to be able to deliver this platform and this information in a way that's clear, it's not overpowering, and it's not just filling up time. So with that, we want to be very intentional with how we show up. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday next week will be where, and we're gonna see again how it unfolds, how it works out, because we're still trying to, as Tina says, tighten things up. So then that way it flows easily and effortlessly for everybody involved and for our listeners. So just keep bearing with us and know that this is a safe corner of the internet, just providing you with tools that we've learned along the way, and sharing with you things that are in our wheelhouse to do so. So then that way we can help hopefully provide some tools for your own navigation. Um, yeah. Is there anything that you want to finish with before I do my little last liner?
Yeah, I think what's important for people to understand is the three of us are trying to figure out how to share personal experiences and things that have transitioned us into this space without making it feel so heavy or difficult or challenging your own beliefs. So we recognize that this conversation can be difficult, especially if you're not in the same headspace, but our goal is to at least spark something that gets you
Yes.
to think, oh, maybe I should just look into it. Doesn't mean I have to go and do it, but maybe that made sense to me. That resonated. Let me see if I can make a stronger connection with what I just heard. So just know that we're moving at a pace that feels like it transitions a lot, but we're transitioning it so that we can make sure that you're feeling and understanding what we're really trying to communicate to all of you.
Yeah, fine tuning it along the way. Yep. And
There you
next week,
go.
we feel really good about next week's conversation. So we'll be starting the week off with anxiety or intuition. And we look forward to you guys joining us. We will be talking about some female archetypes, and we will also be having Heather back in to talk to us about Setna on Wednesdays, sorry, on where we might not be honoring ourselves at this time. And then Friday we'll close out the week with Inanna. We are also learning about, but she ties in very beautifully in when we do trust ourselves, self trust, and what that can look like. So we look forward to having you guys back with us next week. And as I always say, beautiful souls, you woke up today because your soul genuinely has purpose on this planet. So please go out there and live it authentically true to you. Love and light, beautiful souls. We'll be back to you on Monday. Looking forward to the weekend off. Your mic was off.